Hey guys, Sam here from KeyCommerce.com. In this video, you're going to learn how to set up your shipping and return settings in Google Merchant Center. You'll need to do this before you can run your shopping and your Performance Max campaigns. Let's get into it. First, log into your Merchant Center account and click on Shipping and Returns on the left menu. Shipping Policies is the first tab here, so we'll tackle this first. Click Add Shipping Policy here. Now before we add our policies, there's one thing to check. If you don't have a shipping policy on your website, go to the link below this video and get access to our shipping policy template. You can use this to create the shipping policies page for your store with all the information that Google requires. I'll leave a link to that down below. Here, you select which country or countries this shipping policy applies to. I'm going to select United States for this one and hit continue. Next, it's asking which products this policy applies to. I'm going to select all products. I'm keeping this simple for now, but I do want to quickly touch on the specific products option here. It's worth knowing about even if you don't need it right now. This will only take 20 seconds. In your product data feed, which we cover in our other videos, you'll need to set up an attribute called shipping label. And for any products you want a specific shipping policy to apply to, you assign them to a label under that attribute. For example, oversized freight. Once that's in your feed, you come back here, select specific products, and assign that label to the policy. Now, let's return to setting up this shipping policy and click Continue. This page is about determining delivery times. Google tries to make it easy for you if you just use one popular carrier in your country. For example, if you are in the United States and you just use FedEx, you will add the address that you ship from here. Then you'll add the maximum number of days it takes you to get that product into that carrier's hands. This is your handling time. Set the days you actually fulfill orders and the cutoff time for orders coming in that day. For example, if your cutoff is 2 p.m. and your handling time is 1 day, any order placed at 12 p.m. needs to be with the carrier by the following day. But an order coming in at 3 p.m. can go out in 2 business days. Next, you set the carrier and its service level. Now, if you use different carriers, depending on the product or the shipping option your customers select, there's another option. Choose Enter Specific Delivery Times manually. Here, you'll set your cutoff time and handling time again, and then set a range for your expected transit times. That's the number of days from the moment your carrier picks up the product to when it arrives at your customer's door. You'll set a minimum and a maximum. That's your delivery range. You can apply this to all destinations or set it by custom destination zones if you ship to specific regions differently. And down below, you'll see how Google is interpreting all of this under total delivery time. It's worth checking to make sure it matches what you expect. If that looks right, click Continue. On this last step of the process, Google wants to know how much the shipping costs. If you decide to offer free shipping for all your items, then simply go with the default here and click Save. Now, I strongly recommend offering free shipping. 9 out of 10 shoppers say that free shipping is the biggest incentive to buy online. Stores that offer free shipping have 30% higher average order values. And 61% of shoppers say that they'll likely abandon their order if free shipping isn't available. The numbers speak for themselves. If you can make it work for your margins, offer it. If free shipping doesn't work for your business, Google gives you several ways to calculate shipping pricing. The descriptions in Merchant Center are pretty clear, so I won't walk you through each one here. You'll be able to figure out which one applies to you. And if anything changes down the line, editing these policies is straightforward. So click Save on your setup and let's get to your return policy. Under the Return Policies tab, you may already see information populated here. If so, Google has already crawled your store and pulled in your return policy automatically. Review it and choose to accept and continue. Or edit and continue. Or start over, depending on your situation. Either way, the next page is where you review or fill in the key details of your return policy. One thing to note, Google requires your store to have a dedicated returns policy page. And you need to give it the URL for that page here. If you don't have one yet, or you want to make yours stronger, grab our returns policy template. You can use it to copy and paste the policies that we recommend for your store. I'll leave a link to that down below in the description. For your return policy, you'll start by selecting which countries it applies to. Then, whether you accept returns and whether you accept exchanges. Hit continue and the next page covers 2 more details. What condition the product needs to be in for a return to be accepted, and how long the customer has to initiate it. You can also add an extended window around the holidays, which a lot of bigger retailers do. On the final page, Google asks for 4 last things: how a customer can return items, what currency the refund will be issued in, whether you charge a restocking fee, and if so, how much, and how long it takes for the customer to actually receive their refund. Once you've filled everything in and hit next, Google shows you a full summary of your policy to review before confirming. Make sure your website return policy and what you've entered here match exactly. Google monitors this strictly. Any discrepancy can get your product disapproved or your account suspended. If you have separate return policies for different countries, repeat this process for each one. And with that done, you've completed your shipping and return setup at the account level. Google can now pull the correct information and display it directly in your ads. Before we wrap up, let me go through a few common mistakes that we see when we audit Google Merchant Center accounts for our clients. And if you want us to audit your account, we'll show you exactly what's costing you money and losing you sales. Link is down below. Okay, the first mistake. Store owners often set all of this up correctly, and then they update their shipping and returns policy on their website without coming back to update it here on Google Merchant Center. Google explicitly checks the shipping costs in your Merchant Center account and what you show on your website. If there's a mismatch, your listings will get rejected. And a big one for Shopify users. If you're using the Google and YouTube app in Shopify, make sure that your shipping rate submission is set to manual. If it's set to automatic, it's going to completely override all the settings you've just set up in Google Merchant Center. I'll finish this lesson the same way that I started it. Your shipping and returns policies are part of your marketing. Free shipping and a generous return window can be expensive, but this is how a lot of stores find real success. The data is really clear, guys. Shoppers want to shop at stores that reduce the risk of making a bad purchase. And Google knows this too, and that's why they put this information directly in your shopping ads. So guys, that's how you set up your shipping and return settings in Google Merchant Center. The next step is linking your Google Merchant Center account to Google Ads so you can start setting up your Google Ads campaigns. We go through all of that in our free Google Shopping course. The link is right below. It covers everything you need to set up, optimize, and scale your Google Shopping campaigns to over 50K per month. And if you'd like our team to take over your Google Ads completely, we've helped so many e-com stores go from where you are now to over 6 and 7 figures per month. Book a free strategy session down below and we'll show exactly how we'll do this for your store. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Make sure to check out our other videos. This one here might be especially useful for you.